Today is kind of a fun day. It's my birthday today, of all things, and I want to talk to you about the dates that are on your headstone and making your life count. On your headstone, they have two dates on your headstone: the day you were born and the day you died. But many times they'll have some dots in there between, or there's a space between there. Guess what? Your life is all kinds of dates. And there's a start date and an end date on this life right here. I believe that there's more to life than just this. I don't think we just climbed out from under some rock or anything. I think that there's that we lived before this, we'll live after this, and our goal is to learn as much as we can and experience as much as we can while we're here. But on your headstone, there's going to be two dates: the date you were born, the date you were died, and then on many headstones out there, they're actually putting little QR codes that you can go scan, and it will show you kind of a biography of what people have done. Um, in the future, you're going to be able to go into AI and pull up somebody's name and say, build me a tablet, build me a table of dates and things that you're able to do in your life. Well, being 67 today, I'm getting a little philosophical, as I do every once in a while. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the dates in your life and how it all works, because, you know, the way that it works is that you're only here for a finite amount of time. A good friend of mine that I've known, that's worked with for 35, 40 years, my accountant, a great friend of mine, just passed away quickly. He passed out, and were trying to, they just couldn't revive him. And, he came and he went, and really quick. But there's a lot of dates, and you don't know when that date is. But the reality is that you really have a start date. You have your birth, and you have a death date. And there are dates there. My birth date was 1959. That's the day I came into this world. And hopefully I'm right here somewhere. We're not quite ready to go into that death date yet. But here we are in 2026, and hopefully we got quite a bit of time in there. But there's really 4 quarters of your life, 4 quarters of your life. And it happens basically every 15 years. So in life, you got 4 quarters in your life. Basically from 0 to 15, 16 to 30, 31 to 45, 46 to 60, and then you get overtime. This is phase 1, 2, 3, and 4, like a ball game. You got 4 of them, and then you got OT number 1, overtime number 1, and that's going to take you from age 61 to 75. And if you're lucky, overtime number 2, you're going to go from 76 to 90. Very few people get into overtime number 2. My uncle just passed away. He was 90. My parents passed away in their 80s. My father-in-law passed away in his earlier 80s. With the health issues that I've had in my life and some of the challenges that's happened in my life. Heart attack when I was 34 years of age. my I'm like a car that's been in a couple accidents, and it's going down the street, but it's kind of going sideways, and the engine's not running on all 8 cylinders. It's running about six of them, or hopefully 6.5 of them. And I've had some issues, So when you go back and look at your time frame here, there's your periods 1 through 4, and then your overtimes. And the reason we do what we do in the foundation and why we work on the habits is because we want you to start habits right here. We want you to start these good habits. And I am convinced it's not what you know, it's what you do. I don't really care what you know. No, it doesn't matter. It's nice to know a lot of stuff. It's really nice to know a lot of stuff. But what you do, what you experience, and the sooner you can start, the better you are, because of compounding. Now, hopefully, people will live in to get all through 4 quarters. Most people will get into part of their overtime in their life. I'm right here. Boy, I'm halfway through that one. I can't believe it. I'm halfway through that. And as I look back, there are all these dates of things that happened in my life that have really um, created who I am. And you say, why does people do what they do? Well, it's the stuff that they learned. And back here, I've had some wonderful experiences. I had a heart attack at age 34. I had special needs children in my 20s, late 20s, early 30s. Started businesses, had success in businesses. I had some successful businesses, and I've had some failures. And the biggest thing for me was is that my life used to go like this, just used to be all up and down. And these were success. This was failure. And some of that failure was stuff I caused, and some of the failure was just outside stuff that came in and had ran havoc on our world. And then I'd made a decision. I says, I'm not going to get too excited on a success, and I'm not going to get upset over a failure. And instead of going way up and down, I'm going to live my life right here. I'm going to live it more in this area right here. And I'm not going to get too excited about a success, and I'm not going to get upset over a failure. What I am going to do is I'm going to try and make a difference. And the real key is that the earlier that you can learn the 7 steps, the earlier you can do the habits of the 7 steps, the 7 habits, the more time you have to multiply your life. The more time you have to have your life grow and to compound. The more time you have to get a return on investment, a return on effort, a return on knowledge, because you did it, return on investment. And just like when we talk about compounding, Warren Buffett says, I don't need a computer, my brain's a computer, because of what he does and how he does it. But the real key to life is to compound. What can you compound? You can compound your money. You can compound your knowledge. You can compound your experiences. And the rule of 72, the rule of 72 says, how long does it take for something to double? How long does it take for something to double? And they take the number 72, and it's a magical formula. So if you are getting a 3% rate of return, 3 goes into 72 24 times, or 3 times 24 equals 72. That's how long it takes for your money to double, your knowledge to double, your experiences to double, whatever it might be. If you are expanding at 6%, 6 times 12, this is years, that's the rate of return, and that's the magic number 72. It takes 12 years. If you're making 10% on your money, it takes 7.2 years. And if you're paying money, excuse me, if you're paying money out to the credit card companies or whatever it is, 21%, it takes 3 years for your credit cards to double in cost. So from a financial point of view, when we talk about finances, and again, all money does is make you more of what you are. All money does is make you more what you are. Now, I want you to have the toys. I want you to have the cars. I want you to do the trips. I want you to do all that stuff. I want you to do all that stuff in your lifetime. I want you to do that. But at the same time, as you get back here and you start really looking at your life, what's the most important stuff that you can do? Well, you're going to earn, you're going to learn, you're going to earn, and you're going to return. You're going to learn from others. You're going to do things. You're going to experience things. You're going to earn money. And that's just how you keep in score of the game. We're playing the game. We're playing the game and the games are fun. Life's a game and games are fun. And so we want to play the game and then return. How do you return? How do you help other people? The only way you get what you want out of life is help other people get what they want out of life. The most successful people are the ones that solve the biggest problems. And those are the three things that you're going to concentrate on. And when you're young, our goal is to learn and do as much as we can, as fast as we can. Some people have lived the same life every day and they haven't stretched themselves. They haven't gone out on the edge. Uh, your job is not to do that. Your job is to experience life. It's to go see the world and be part of it. And so you want to learn as much as you can through here. And you're going to do that your whole life. You're going to be earning. When is the big earning years? Right through here. And when is your return? You know, this is where I'm at. This is where my wife Ladon and I are at. We are in the return mode. We've learned from so many wonderful mentors. My dad taught us so many wonderful things. And you know what? My dad, we didn't just talk about it, we did it. We did it. Back behind me is some fun things that I've got. You know, first passbook savings account that I had when I had my own bank account. There's stock stuff there. There's first money that I made as a teenager right back here when I made my first $100 and became $100 heir. I was probably 14, 15 years of age, but I had money in the stock market. I was making 12% on my money, doubling it every 6 years, doing small businesses where I grew up. And I got that chance to double faster at an earlier age. That's why it's so important that when we teach you this stuff, you know, we want you to have a better life, but you know who's going to really benefit most of this? Probably your kids, because we're going to start them sooner, quicker, faster. But they're not going to do anything that they're going to follow what you do. They're going to listen to you, but more importantly, they're going to do what you do. And so when you do it, you need to take them. Now it's a drag. I get it. It's so much easier for me just to do it and just let me do it. I'll do it. I'll fix it. Let me just go fix it. When in reality is my goal is to help my kids and my grandkids know how to do it. So I'm setting stuff up, but the real goal is teaching them how to drive. And I have a daughter that has a few special needs, and I've taught her how to drive. And we have literally driven hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And we started in a church parking lot, and we drove in the parking lot. We did that for quite a while. And then we drove on some of the back streets, and eventually, you know, in her 30s, she got her driver's license. You know, late 20s, probably early 30s. Your job is to help your kids to become self-reliant. Your job is to help your kids become self-sufficient. That's what we do in the foundation. Now, as you look at your learn and earn, you're going to do all of these your whole time. I'm still learning stuff. I still go to classes. I'm still, you know, social media can be really terrible and bad, but here's what happens on TikTok is probably the biggest example. If you watch a video and you watch the whole 2-minute video on dancing cats, guess what you're going to see? They're going to send dancing cats to you all day long because they're sending you what you're interested in. So if you watch stupid stuff, you're going to get more stupid stuff. But if you watch videos about money, you start following people about money in your social media. If you watch Warren Buffett and Tony Robbins and Robert Allen and all these guys, you're going to get more of that, more of that, more of that, more of that. And that's the goal is to continue to feed your mind. The foundation has hundreds of hours of wonderful classes. So instead of watching stupid TikToks that are dumb, go to class where you can learn these things. You're going to earn. We need to teach you how to earn. Step number 4. Step number 1, you need to learn how to make money. We need to make money with your business, your small business, and with your job. You got to learn how to earn. We need to learn how to give. Giving is you got to separate. Giving is number 3 right there. We got to give. You got to return. 4, you got to get your money making you money. You got to earn yourself and you got to get your money making money. Your money needs to be making money while you're sleeping. Over the last 4 years here in America, we've had a 20% average 5% inflation. If you had your money in your savings account, your money lost 20%. If you got 0 rate of return on it because of inflation, you just lost 20% of that money. So you got to get your money earning. That's why we teach you so much on step number 4. which is to invest. Step number 7, we pop to step number 7, which is the wealth formula. Then we're going to teach you more things how to invest. Yeah, but when you get started, there's only 2 things you can do. When you automatically invest, there's 4 things you can do. We're going to tell you not to do 2 of them. Just do just 2 of them. We want you to invest in the S&P 500. The 500 biggest companies in America are global, they're worldwide. And my favorite is Berkshire Hathaway. And over time, Berkshire Hathaway has outperformed the S&P, which has outperformed mutual funds because of the fees that has just kicked, picking and choosing. If you day trade and you day trade every day for 3 years, they did a big stat on it. You day trade every day for 3 years, 97% of the people will lose money. 97% of the people lose money. So we don't do that. Follow somebody who's doing it right. Do Buffett. And you can follow what he does and do what he does, or you can just invest in that company and let them do it for you. So you can spend your time in the earning with your small business. Now, step number 5 is to save and spend. All that's part of the earning side. And then number 6 is you've got to earn more money. The first 5 steps will help you to become financially free. But step 6 and 7 is where you want to become wealthy. And we need you wealthy. We don't need you asking for a hand out. We want to help you so that you can give people a hand up. So we need you to be wealthy. We need you to start buying real estate, fixing up real estate, solving problems, turning your little business into a large business. And so we do that by scaling and doing that and turning those small businesses into a large business. And then number 7, which is the ultimate, is the wealth formula. Take money from your businesses. This is where you're going. You want to see what it's going to look like when you get there? Is the wealth formula. It's number 7, the wealth formula. You're taking money from your job. You're taking money from your small business. You're taking money from your large business. You're taking money from your real estate, and you're putting them into separate groups. And you're putting that into pesos. You're putting that into dollars. You're putting it away weekly, monthly. You've got to put money aside to do that. Times a rate of return. It's got to be going up in value. It's got to beat inflation. Times time. This is taking you time to do it. The ability to multiply and to compound. Just think about that. If you can compound your money 4 or 5 times in your lifetime, it's a massive amount versus if you only do it once or twice. That's why it's so important to start as early as we can. And that equals wealth. But what we want it to work is we want it to be generational wealth. And to be generational wealth, the kids need to know how to do it. And they need to do it. Yes, and it would be easier if you just did it for them. I get that. But one of these days, you're going to pass out and you're just going to be gone. And then they've got to deal with it all. Guys, this is where you're headed. That's the ultimate goal. And the ultimate goal as well is to do this last one right here. You're going to do this your whole life. And the way you become successful, the way you earn more, is when you return more, when you help more people. You will just naturally earn more. It's a spiritual gift. It's a spiritual piece that we talk about, but it's also a business. It's a business principle. The biggest givers, the ones that help the most people, earn the most money. The ones that solve the biggest problems for the most people and that can do it at scale are the ones that make the most money. That's what your goal is. And then guess what? You're going to get rid of it. You can't take it with you. I've never seen a U-Haul hooked up to the back of a hearse going to the graveyard, and you can't take your money with you. All you can do, the only thing that you take with you when you die is the knowledge if you have done good or bad. So when you die, they say your whole life passes before your eyes. Well, guess what? It passes before your eyes because you pull out your iPhone, you pull out your Android, and you look at your pictures. And if your pictures are good, guess what? You've lived a good life. If the pictures are bad, you probably haven't. And life's a game and games are fun. So many people got bad cards. I can hear my special needs adult son, he's got some real issues. And he got some terrible cards. And many of you around the world got some terrible cards. But life's a gift. You are a miracle. And the best part about it is that you can take your cards that you're playing the game of life with, and you can go discard it and you can go get a new card. You can go get a new card. You can turn over that old card. You can take that old card and you can exchange it for a new card. And you can change your hand. You can change your hand on the game of life. You really can. And by doing the things that we teach you and going out there and having fun with the game, you get to, and it doesn't matter how many times you just keep playing until you get a great hand and you play the game of life. So guys, make a difference, make it happen. You've got dates on your headstone, dates of when you come to this world, to this earth. It's so important that you make a huge difference, guys. I've got wonderful people that's in my life that have made a huge difference. My parents made a huge difference in my life. My family has, my great friend, Robert Allen. All of you, my team, you're making a difference, guys. And the foundation was designed and created and funded so that if something happened to me, you could continue it on. The greatest thing was for this is to be a legacy program. And that's how we created it. That's how we created it. And that's why it's working so well, is because it's you making it happen. This is your foundation. It's not mine. It's not Bob's. It's yours. And it's your job to take it to the next level. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make a difference, make it happen. Make sure all those dates in between your birth date and your death date and all those 4 quarters of your life and overtime that you're doing what you need to do. Go make a difference, guys.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Thank you, Bob. Life's a game and games are fun. And so thanks for all being with us. Guys, we're going to be right back in just a second. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. I hear my good friend Robert Allen on, and we're going to do our next section with Mr. Robert Allen.